Hey y'all, it's Desiree and I'm back with another video. And for this video, God is saying that it is okay to let go of what you outgrow. And I know a few videos on this channel and a few videos on my previous channel, I really talked about, us detaching from enemies or detaching from people that we know aren't truly with us. But for this video, it's more so concerning people who are not quote unquote our enemies, or people who, haven't done us anything wrong. Or this may even be people who are also fellow believers, but we have just so happened to outgrow them. And by outgrow, I'm saying spiritually outgrow, in the sense of, you may once was able to get on the phone with certain people and talk to them for hours. It was a lot of encouragement and motivation, wisdom, insight going forth. You guys were able to uplift one another, teach each other different things along the way. Then after a while, the conversation kind of slows up, or after a while, you get on the phone with them and you just really don't even know what to say, and it kind of feels like you're talking to a stranger. Or maybe you just realize that over time, a certain individual is not growing in God at the same rate that you are. And sometimes we have the tendency of keeping these people around and feeling guilty from letting them go, because we feel like, well, they haven't did us any harm, or they haven't did us anything wrong. And I know they care about me. I love them. I know they love me, type of thing. Not truly understanding that it is okay to outgrow people, and that is just simply a part of life. And sometimes you outgrow not only people who are not meant to be in your life, but it also comes a time where we outgrow spaces and capacities that once afforded us certain relationships, and that's fine. We always have to be checking our own personal inventory, spiritual inventory, emotional inventory, relationship inventory, making sure that we are constantly clearing out what is no longer serving us. And sometimes what was once genuine companionship, genuine fellowship is no longer serving, and that's fine. But it's best that we acknowledge that and move forward. It's best that we acknowledge that, make peace with it, and take the proper precautions. And you truly have to allow the Holy Spirit to discern what letting go looks like for you. For some people, this may mean that you completely cut off contact with the individual. For some people, this may mean instead of us talking on the phone every other day, now we just talk on the phone once a week. We talk once a month. Or I'm just going to text you, I'm just going to email you, and let that be that. But sometimes we really have to put our foot down and be honest with ourselves and honest with other people, especially if it's a person that you know that you truly care about. Listen, hey, at this point, I feel like it's time for us to separate. It's time for us to go our different ways. God bless you. I always will love you. You are in my prayers. But this is the end for me and you. And make peace with that. And not feel guilty about that. Because the last thing you want to do is allow people who are no longer able to hold your weight begin to pull on your weight. Begin to add on to your weight. Because the person who you were once on one accord with, now you got to explain everything to them. Now, every time you say something about God, it's like, huh? What? He told you to do what? Huh? And it just gets to be too draining. It gets to be too taxing. And it gets to be very pulling on your spirit. Also, when you allow people who are not growing and maturing as fast as you are, or at the rate capacity that you are, to continue to be in your life, the enemy will try to pollute them. He will try to contaminate them. In the same sense that the enemy didn't go after Adam, he went for the weaker vessel. When the enemy knows that he cannot infiltrate you, oftentimes he will go after the weaker vessel. And that causes room for jealousy. That causes room for strife. That causes room for comparison. And you can easily watch someone who once was your right-hand man, once was someone who you could call on, talk to, pray with, encourage, ask for advice, begin to view you in a different light. And then something that could have been left off on a good note is now polluted, is now contaminated. We got to stop being so afraid to make peace with people and move on. Because ain't nothing wrong with saying, God bless you, but this is no longer serving me. God bless you, but I'm able to discern in the spirit that our time is up. God bless you, but this is where me and you depart. You truly have to let go of what you outgrow, and you cannot be afraid. You cannot allow your feelings and emotions to get in the way of that. Because when God is putting it on your spirit that it is time for you to depart with the person, when God is beginning to reveal to you that the ending of something is drawing near, and you begin to experience overwhelming emotions, you begin to, throughout your day, you're thinking about it. Oh, dang, I'm really not trying to just cut this person off though. But like, dang, and you're trying to play back everything. Well, no, they didn't even do anything to me. Dang, why is God saying that? At that point, that is not of the Lord. That is of the enemy. And that's the enemy trying to attack your spirit. That's the enemy trying to keep this attachment to you, because he knows that if he can cause you to hold on to what God is telling you to let go of, eventually he's going to be able to pollute that weaker vessel. Eventually he's going to be able to access you through that weaker vessel. And not just that, as you continue to allow what God has told you to let go to remain, you allow the enemy to watch you, keep tabs on you, keep a close eye on you through that person, because at that point, you're willfully walking in disobedience. Emotion does not overrule disobedience. How much you love a person does not overrule disobedience. How much you feel like you should be loyal to a person, keeping loyalty to a person, does not overrule disobedience. It is a must that we let go of what we outgrow.